What's up, gamers? Just wanted to make another video talking about some more underrated units that the game's ever seen. And maybe you're gonna agree with me that they're underrated. Maybe you're gonna call me an idiot. I don't really care. But these are just some like personal favorites that I always liked that no one ever really talked about throughout history. But I feel like they were actually pretty good around the times when they came out. So, let me just pull up the Dokkan timeline so I can just accurately measure how they were in the content when it came out. Okay, so first is this Hercule before EZA. This Hercule before EZA used to carry me through some fucking events. So he came out January 16th, 2019. Let's just look at what events were out in 2019. So I'm not really seeing any hard events that were out. I think around this time it was more like the Extreme Super Battle Road era. I mean, that would make sense. So usually content comes out around here. Punching Bag. Boss Rush. Boss Rush was actually kind of hard. I mainly remember using him in Extreme Super Battle Road. But, like, looking at his kit, like, now, especially, like, you know, nowadays, it's, like, nothing at all. But back in the day, 50% chance to dodge on a character was fucking crazy. Like, I remember UI Goku came out in, what was that? That was around, that was the 6th year anniversary. 2021. I remember he came out and having 70% chance to dodge was crazy. So 2 years earlier, 2019, he had, oh, spoiler alert, he had 50% chance to dodge, and up to, like, 90% damage reduction? Like, he was crazy. Like, and then you also have, like, 30% chance to stun, and then, like, if you did get TN, like, his attack would go up. He was never, like, crazy damage, but, like, mainly his utility, like, especially in Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road, was the stun, and then just, like, the coin flip dodge with the crazy damage reduction. And the thing about him was, with this damage reduction, like, let's say you threw him slot 1 as, like, just, like, your last gambit, like, he dodges an attack, he takes an attack for, like, 100, 200k, you're down to, like, half HP. Like, he's getting, like, what, 60, 70% damage reduction with the dodge? Like, he was crazy. Like, I know, after EZA, he isn't as crazy, but, like, pre-EZA, this guy was actually, like, pretty good. Like, he was definitely, like, a sleeper option on some of the... Excuse me. He was definitely a sleeper option on some of these categories, like Final Trump Card, Earthbred. Was Earthbred Fighters around back then? I don't remember. Earthlings, for sure. World Tournament. Bond of Friendship. Like, he was definitely crazy on some of these, like, earlier categories. Like, you have to remember, at the time, units didn't have, like, crazy damage reduction. So, like, the dodge, damage reduction, like, medium chance to stun combo was fucking insane. Okay, so next I want to talk about the Supreme Kai and Kibito. Again, like, these guys came out, I believe, on the banner... When did they come out? Featured banners. What was their first banner? Damn, they were on the Gohan banner. I thought they came out on the STR Vegito banner. But these guys were also pretty crazy when they first came out. So let's go to 2020. So yeah, now, again, like, looking at it, like, around this time mainly was, like, Extreme Super Battle Road challenges, and, was the God of Destruction event out yet? I believe it was. That would have been, like, July of this year, right? No. I forget, that was 2021, the God event. Yeah, really, it was just, like, Extreme Super Battle Road, you had Boss Rush, Infinite Dragon Ball History, kind of, but, like, hard when it first came out. Not much content, but these guys were definitely good. They're greatly raising defense for one turn, pretty good, 50%. Then again, the 50% chance to stun, pretty good, especially for Extreme Super Battle Road at the time. And then you have the, just stats. They lowered enemies' attack and defense for 2 turns. That was pretty big for Extreme Super Battle Road. Another 50% chance to dodge unit. And then this HP recovery was also really good at the time. I remember that coming in clutch for so many of those runs when I first did them. And then, what was their transformation condition? Really? So they could just transform right away. Were they the first? I thought it was Golden Frieza that was like the first one to do that. Anyway, like their transformation condition really easy, by the way, and they were even better in Kibito Kai at the time. So when they came out, especially in Extreme Super Battle Road, they were kind of vicious because on their super attack they had greatly raised attack and defense, and then guaranteed seal. And then their basic effects, you had stats, you had a debuff, and then you had guaranteed stun for 2 turns. That was crazy, and then they also kept the 10% HP. So they were just like they were an Extreme Super Battle Road merchant at the time. Like, I remember, like, these guys are never taught, like, I can't wait for their EZA. These guys are never talked about, but like, low-key, at the time, like, when Extreme Super Battle Road was at its peak, like, that 2020, 2021, 2022, like, era, before Red Zone, like, these guys were demons in that event, like, those events. Like, they weren't on many categories, they still aren't, but, like, Realm of Gods, Majin Buu Saga, Potara, Joined Forces, I think Fused Fighters came out, 2022 with, these guys right here. So it wasn't out yet. So, like, these 4 categories, like, Extreme Super Battle Road running them, like, they were demons in all of them. Again, like, the greatly raising attack and defense into the guaranteed seal on super, into the guaranteed debuff, into the guaranteed stun for 2 turns, with great HP recovery. Like, these guys were busted. And then I believe it's either I'm not too sure if the active skill is actually just like you load into the match and then you could just use it, or if it was like you do 1 turn and then use it. But if it was like you just use it, then they were like extremely busted for Super Battle Road. Like, these guys were demons in Super Battle Road. So next, I do bring up this Extreme Physical Frieza from the Universal Survival Saga. On release, I remember on Global too, this was before our anniversary. On JP, they were a little bit earlier. They came out on JP, I believe in like October or something. This guy was crazy. He wasn't crazy when what's its face came out, when Red Zone came out, but again, Super Battle Road, this guy was crazy. The legendary Goku event, why didn't I mention that? Hercule and the Kibito Kai were great in the legendary Goku event. Let me just pull up Kibito Kai real quick. Okay, I'm just coming back to say, like, this representation of the Supreme Kai and Dragon Ball Z is kind of vicious. They need to give this guy a new card. Just saying. But, Kibito Kai, like, again, like, in the legendary Goku event, I know they cancel out, like, stunning and everything, but, like, when you're first setting up in that event, because you're also, like, mainly, like, if you're running a Majin Buu Saga, you were running Tech Gohan, so you were just waiting for him to become the slot 1. These guys were a pretty good slot 1, like, in the legendary Goku event. And then again, they're Extreme Super Battle Road killers. That Hercule was also, like, pretty crazy in, like, the legendary Goku event. Also really good in Extreme Super Battle Road. For the same reasons I say they were underrated, I say this guy's underrated. I never hear anyone talking about this, Golden Frieza. This guy was just, like, generationally good. Especially on Global when he came out. So, like, we look at him, infinite defensive stacking, and a guaranteed seal. So he's automatically good for Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road. The guaranteed seal in those fights are just insane. And then he has the debuff right here for 2 turns, another 2-turn debuff. And then after receiving an attack, so once you get hit, like, the first time, you have 30% chance to dodge. And again, like, I know at the time it isn't crazy, but, like, when he first came out on Global, this is around the time the 6th year anniversary was happening on JP. That was like one of the first characters to have 70% chance to dodge. Like, AGL UI Goku was crazy at the time for having a great chance to dodge. So 30% chance to dodge back then wasn't the, like, worst. And then he also was getting this 50% stats for 5 turns. Like, he was crazy. And then he was also another one of those, like, active skill conditions that you could just use automatically. And then if you go into his golden form, like, you can't stack. But his attack was really good at the time. His stats were really good at the time. You had the 70% chance to stun on attack, which was also really good for Extreme Super Battle Road. And then, like, you would, ideally, like, you'd use him, and then, like, you'd wait for, like a really crazy hit to happen, so you go below 50%. And then you pop him, and then you, like, load into this form, and then you have 50% damage reduction. So, like, let's say Extreme Super Battle Road, you're just turn 1. I don't think you would run him slot 1 in Extreme Super Battle Road, to be completely honest. But slot 2, slot 3, he was crazy in Extreme Super Battle Road. And then, like, let's say you take damage, like, on one of the off rotations, you load in below 50% HP, you just load into this guy. 50% damage reduction, 70% chance to stun, with the crazy damage. Like, he was crazy. Like, this character was crazy. And then also in the Legendary Goku event at the time, just the whole fight up until, like, what was it? God, I believe it was. Like, Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue. You just had him stacking up. And then again, you just wait for him to get below 50% HP, load into this form, and you're fucking good. And even if you weren't 50% HP, by the time you got there, you were already so defensively stacked at the time. I believe, like, even 200k defense back then was good against UI Goku. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was, like, more like 300, 400, but he could get there. He could get there and then load into this form of 50% damage reduction. Like, this guy was cracked. Like, no one talks about how good this Golden Frieza was. Like, this Frieza was really fucking good. Okay, enough glazing. On to the next. So next, I want to mention this Roshi, who came out during the 6th year anniversary. He might not fall into the underrated category, but I've never really heard anyone talking about him, like whether it was on Twitter or YouTube. But this guy was also really good. He wasn't the craziest, I remember, in, like, the later versions of the God event, but that, at the time, that was the hardest event, and he's free to play. In the Goku fight, in the, how do I say it? In the Legendary Goku event, he was pretty good. Like, he doesn't stack or anything, but at the time, he was pretty good. You know, 30% chance to dodge, pretty good support for Turtle School, and I'll get into that in a second, but, like, let's just look at his super attack effects. Great chance to stun. Seal, like, guaranteed seal. This guy was crazy. For Extreme Super Battle Road, at least. And then, like, you know, Legendary Goku event, some of the earlier phases, like, you get this off and, like, your whole team's protected with the crazy support. Like, this Master Roshi was pretty good. Like, defensively, he wasn't really that weak either. It was really just, like, the later stages of the God of Destruction event. But the really crazy thing about him was that he had the best revive in the game when he came out. This revive right here, all you had to be was below 50% HP. That was crazy. Like, you load into the turn, like, 49% HP, and you knew you were safe. Like, and then also his active skill, like, wasn't the craziest, but the key support was really good. But really, it was just, like, 70% chance to stun, guaranteed seal, crazy attack when he does attack at the time, good stats, decent stats, 30% chance to dodge, you know, good to have that in the pocket at the time. Like, now it's like you need 70 at least, but at the time, 30% was not too bad. With the, like, really good, like, the best revive in the game at the time. I compare, like, even with the EZA of the AGL UI Goku, well, let me not say that, because I think it's still better. This is probably still better than Vegeta's at points, but the AGL UI Goku's is really good. But at the time, when it was AGL UI Goku and in LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, at the time, he had a better revive than them, and he was free to play. Like, he was, honestly, like, he wasn't up there with them, but, like, he might have been, like, 1 or 2 leagues below them. Like, this character was really good, and no one, like, really talks about him anymore. Like, I understand why, because he'll never get another easy A or whatever. But this guy was really good. Like, no one mentioned how good he was at the time of the 6th-year anniversary. Like, this guy was nuts. He was good in Super Battle Road. Probably, I really don't remember, but he was type advantage against like the later forms of UI Goku in the Legendary Goku event. And again, all he was really struggling in was like Belmod and maybe what's the Kitsune Fox guy, the Fox God. I don't remember his name. Liquor, like maybe not like Liquor and Belmod and like some of the like later God of Destruction event fights. But this guy was still really fucking good. Like, no one ever talks about him. That's why I just had to throw him on the list. Okay. So next is this Dr. Gero in 19. And I'm really bringing them up for one fight that was the hardest fight at the time and might be, like, one of the hardest fights in Dokkan history. And these guys were Red Zone Broly killers. Like, these guys massacred that Broly. Like, on the Tech Androids team, they were, I don't want to say they were unstoppable, you know, every character in Dokkan can die, but they were really good. They had, you know, basic super attack, but then this, again, it's not much, like, even nowadays, I'd like this on a character, but, like, recovering 10% HP at the end of a turn, like, really can save you a run sometimes. Like, it really is good, like, to have this on your kit, because you pair that with good stats, good support, and then you have, like, when you attack with 12 or more ki, more stats. This isn't really the craziest to have on a passive, but you match this recovering 10% HP with this, dude, you were full healing at the time. When Broly, like, if you were, like, and this wasn't, like, crazy common, it still isn't, but, like, let's say you had this up, like, against that AGL Broly at the end, you throw these guys wherever his super is, they're eating his super and just full healing after it. Like, they were crazy for that fight. They were eating the AoE, because I believe the AoE was another Ki Blast. Like, they were perfectly fine against his AoE. Like, these guys were genuinely, like, one of, like, up there with the Tech Androids, too. Because the Tech Androids had the Ki Blast nullification. But these guys, like, their nullification was better than the Tech Androids. You just sit them wherever, like, have them eat the soup. Like, both supers and the AoE, they could just eat, like, and they're recovering HP. Actually, wait, no. Maybe not against the AoE. I forget what, I'd have to, like, it's been forever since I did that AGL Broly one. But, again, like, against his super, he had a Ki Blast super. Like, they were just eating his Ki Blast super, full healing, and then, like, just giving the Android category team, like, crazy support. Like, these guys were very underrated when they came out. And I know I'm specifically talking about that one fight, but like, run them anywhere where there was a Ki Blast. If you run them anywhere where there was a Ki Blast, they were just maybe not full healing, because the damage wasn't too crazy at the time, but they were healing a lot, like 10%. If you had Hidden Potential System additional and you got the super, that's another 10%, that's 20. Then you had whatever damage you took, like, from the Ki Blast super. Like, they were crazy for that team. Like, they were healing like crazy. They weren't doing the craziest damage, but they also were really good support. Like, they could handle themselves in Ki Blast fights. That's why I say, like, they're another really underrated unit. Like, they're crazy. They really were crazy at the time. I feel like, but, you know, if they ever do get an easy A, I don't feel like they'll be as crazy as they first were. Meta's changed for sure. I feel like they're not really meta relevant, or, like, even with a good easy A, I still don't see them being meta relevant, but at least on initial release, they were crazy. So next is this Heart Virus Goku. And I'm so sad about this Heart Virus Goku because I never got him on release. I only got him like 1 or 2 years after he was good. This guy was crazy. Now, he does have this. This is honestly ass. You never, whenever you see this on a super attack, like, you always cringe because you never want to see that. Like, this is like high key ass. But, this, like, he was he was a really good tank when he first came out. Like, he was really good. He came out, I know he didn't come out on this date, he came out a little bit earlier on JP, but he was still, like, doing decently good, he was still doing decently good, like, when the Red Zone meta came out. Like, for those... I don't think he was good in Broly, and I don't think he was good in Omega. Or, he might have been good in Omega just because it finishes off, Int. But, he was crazy. Greatly raises attack, so he's stacking attack with good stats, depending on HP, which he does, you know, again, you hate to see this, but with good HP, good stats, good key, really good crit and damage reduction. Like, he was doing really good damage, and he was a good tank. With additionals in his kit. And then I remember after 6th turn, he would fall off a bit if you were below that. But still, like, for the first couple turns, this guy was crazy. And then even after that, if you could just keep yourself above this HP, which this does not help with this. Like, these two things do not mesh well. Like, with also, like, you wanting good HP. But if you were on, like, a good team, like let's say the, like, what teams could he have been on? Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, Android Cell Saga, Super Saiyans. At the time, like, he was a really good tank, and then his damage also wasn't too bad. Like, he was pretty good. Again, like, by the time he did, like, Red Zone meta did come out, he was kind of getting dunked on by that AGL Broly. Because the AGL Broly, you would get to, like, at, like, some of the later turns. Same thing with Omega, but he did have type advantage. And maybe some, like, even the earlier fights would, like, have him struggle a little, but, like, he was really good. Especially in Extreme Super Battle Road when the fights aren't going on too long. Like, he was a pretty good tank, and then he would also throw out some pretty good damage. And again, no one ever talks about this guy. Like, I'm sure people know he was good, but no one ever talks about, like, how good he was. Like, he was... Because we also have to remember, especially, like, with some of the other characters I just mentioned, like, the Hercule, the Kibito, the, 19 and 18 I just mentioned, and even this guy. Like, around that time, like, banner units were not good at all. Like, if you summoned and you only got a banner unit off of a banner, that legit had you thinking about quitting the game. Because these banner units were not good. Like, around the time of these guys, like 2022, is when banner units actually started becoming, like, somewhat decent. And I feel like nowadays, like, banner units are expected to be, like, somewhat good. And if they're not good, they're ass. But if we go back to, like, 2022, 2021, 2020, before that, and you looked at banner units, like, they were almost always dog shit. Like, you used to hate getting a banner unit on a banner. Like, these guys were the exceptions at the time. Like, and then you have, like, a banner unit almost performing as well as, like, Dokkan Fest at the time. Like, this guy was crazy. And I feel like they underrate him. I feel like people know how good he was, but they don't talk about him, like, as being, like, as good as he was at the time. Because I remember I never got him until, like, 2024, and I was really salty because I was really hoping to get this guy because he was really, really, really good at the time. Okay, next. This Piccolo, should probably be at the end of the list because I feel like he isn't too underrated. But this guy was also really fucking good. And again, I don't really see a lot of discussion around him, but Guaranteed seal. Guard just in his kit. Support in his kit. 15% damage reduction, like 30% damage reduction on his best team. Lots of stats, lots of support. This guy was really good. He was probably like one of the better tanks in the game. And again, like I feel like around this time, like we were expecting banner units to be like somewhat good. But again, like around this time, like if we remember, let me just pull him up real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, if we remember this guy, look at his date. He came out, what is that, August 28th of 2022? This guy came out almost a month, these guys came out almost a month later, and they were, like, really worse than him. Like, they were, like, don't get me wrong, like, they're a decent support. They are nowhere close to this Piccolo. Like, this is what you were expecting from a banner unit at the time, like, just shit. Like, I remember when they came out, they were, like, no one was talking good about them, because they're not good at all. Like, I remember when these guys came out. Like, they weren't even on the AGL, Goku, and Vegeta's 200%. Like, these guys were not good. Like, if we look at this, they weren't on a 200% until this guy came out, and Piccolo came out. Like, they weren't on a 200% for a while. These guys were dog shit. Like, this is, like, when I say, like, you expected a banner unit to be ass, you're expecting these guys. You're not expecting this Piccolo. This Piccolo was actually pretty crazy. Again, guaranteed guard. Really good support right there and right there. Really good stats. Really good defense. Like, 30% damage reduction with guard. Like, this guy, again, was better than some Dokkan Fests, like, that came out that same year on release. Like, he very underrated, I feel. Like, for how good he was, no one, like, really talks about him as good as he was. Like, and again, like, I know a lot of people do like him, though. Like, he is really good. But, like, he could be up there for, like, one of the best defensive units of that year in 2022. Like, again, not the actual LRs and everything, but, again, like, with some of the TURs, like, this guy's better than Goku and Gohan at the time. Because that Goku would just get you killed every fight. This guy was better than that AGL Cell at the time, because the Cell would get you killed at the beginning of the fight. Definitely better than the Realm of God Blues. Who else came out around that time? Better than Pan, for sure. Like, Pan was pretty good, slot 1, but definitely better than Pan. Who else came out that year, before him? Okay, so now I'm looking at, I'll just compare right here. Better than this Broly, better than this Sin. These guys, this guy wasn't good. This guy was actually pretty decent on release. He could be on the list. He wasn't too crazy though, so I'm not. Definitely not better than these two. Better than all of these guys. Not better than this Goku on, like, in certain fights, but are all around probably better than this Goku in most fights. Maybe not. I feel like this Goku and this Piccolo are probably around equal. Like, the Goku was definitely better, though. Like, for the fights that he was good in, but, like, in the fights you can't run him in, Piccolo was definitely better. Better than these three, for sure. You could argue, at the time, he was probably better than this Kaioken Goku. Yeah, better than the Kaioken Goku. Like, maybe not doing as much damage, but... probably better than this Vegeta, honestly. Like, you know, maybe the Giant Ape transformation and everything could push him above, but like he's rivaling these two as a banner unit. Let's keep looking. August. I'm not really gonna talk too much about these guys. These guys were pretty good on release. I wouldn't really compare them. Definitely better than... this is who I was thinking of. Definitely better than this Raditz. Better than these free-to-play units. Honestly, and this hurts to say, he might have even been better than this card right here. I feel like you could definitely debate that out. Because while these guys were definitely decent, I feel like on release they were very unimpressive because of this right here. Like the morale boost conditions. You know, after the third turn they lose this. Morale boost, they were definitely good, but you know, 30% damage reduction no guard versus 30% damage reduction with guard. Like, the argument is there. I'm not gonna make it. The argument is there, though, for, like, this Piccolo being better than this Dokkan Fest LR at the time. Just saying. Like that Piccolo, I feel like this Piccolo is an anomaly. Like, he was really good. I feel like in all the content, like, Metal Cooler Core was the content when he first came out. I feel like he was just kind of tearing that up. Like, you could throw him slot 1, like, maybe not slot 1, you could definitely throw him, like, slot 2, slot 3. If you were running full movie heroes, you could probably throw him slot 1. But this guy was crazy. Just moral of the story, this guy was crazy. Okay, so next, I'm gonna talk about, not pre-EZA 17, or 16. After EZA 16 is really fucking good. He came out, 2024. So, when was that? That was... Okay, so I guess around this time was... so this is year 9. So you had the Beast Gohan fight, you had the Sword of Hope Trunks fight from the same red zone, Cell Max, you had, what else? You had Gogeta. Now, I wouldn't say this guy, and spoiler, I guess, I wouldn't say this guy was too crazy in Gogeta, but I feel like in Beast, like, if you could get this guy on the team, like a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which most of the time you couldn't, but really, all he needed was this. The guard, and then whenever guard was activated, the damage reduction too. Like, this was kind of good. Like, guard and then 48% damage reduction. He was kind of eating with that. Again, I wouldn't say he's the craziest at the end of any of the fights that came out at the time, but he dominated all content before, including, I want to say, Red Zone Fusion Zamasu. He would take some damage in there, but he would not die. Unless you want to, like, throw him slot 1 against that physical fuse Zamasu at the end, like no super. Maybe then, but like after super, this guy was like a really good slot 2, slot 3 unit. Like, he isn't too crazy, but I'm really throwing him up here on this list because he went from being like one of the shittiest characters in the game pre-EZA, even at the time, to being like one of the best EZAs in the game. Like, this guy was actually pretty good with the guard and then also the up to 48% damage reduction. With, you know, greatly raises defense for 1 turn. With support, if you could get that Gohan on your team. Like, he was pretty good. This guy was pretty good at the time, just saying. Okay, next, I might have already spoiled it, but it was this Krillin. This Krillin is really fucking good. You have... his super attack leaves much to be desired, but 20% damage reduction. Support for the relevant categories that you were running him on at the time. 40% damage reduction. Really good stats. More really good stats. With 50% chance to crit, and then 60% damage reduction. At the time, 2023, I believe the hardest fight was Sin Shinron of the Shadow Dragon event. He tore that shit up. This guy was pretty damn good in there. And then, I believe later in the year, when you had the Zamasu Red Zones, I believe even then, he was still probably good against AoE, like, against the AoE phase of Fusion Zamasu, he's pretty good. And then he had type advantage against the Fuse Zamasu, like the merged Fuse Zamasu, whatever, the corrupted merge Zamasu at the end. Like, he had type advantage against him. So, he probably... I actually think I had him against that Fusion Zamasu super, and he lived. and I don't rainbow units. I just, you know, get them once and chill. He lived like one dupe against that Fusion Zamasu at the time. Like this guy was actually pretty crazy for this whole year. Like he definitely wasn't better than some of the TURs, but this guy was really good, and no one ever talks about how good he was either. Next. So the last one I'm gonna end on is this Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito. I feel like at the time people really did shit talk how bad he was. I feel like even today, almost 2 years later, he's still pretty good on that. Like, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, the AGLLR, he's like, his team is like 3 or 4 more units away. Like, you could run him. You could run him. You could run, this guy. You could run the Super Saiyan 4s, the Super Saiyan 4s that merge into Gogeta, the physical unit. So that's 3. Like, yeah, you're like 4 more units away from having like a solid team, and this guy could probably still be run on it. And then at the time, this guy just destroyed Fusion Zamasu. I remember, and this is actually somewhat embarrassing, but when that Fusion Zamasu fight first came out, I could not beat it. Even, I believe, like, because I didn't get anyone in the worldwide download celebration that year. I believe the first time I beat Fusion Zamasu with no items, because I think, like, I was barely able to beat it with items. Like, with, I forget what team I was using. It was probably, like, Tech 23rd World Tournament Goku's team. But I believe the first time I was able to beat that event without items was with this guy and his Dragon Ball Heroes team. Like, this guy was insane. You have 30% damage reduction for 6 turns, really good stats, really good stats, really good stats if you have, like, you know, who you're running him with, like, on his team. And then you had an additional 30% damage reduction. Like, 60% damage reduction with all the crazy stats he had. And the crazy amount of damage. Like, I remember he was doing like 10 million attack stats, and I didn't even have him Rainbow at the time. I still don't think I have him Rainbow. I think I had him with 2 dupes, though, because, you know, the hero banners, rip heroes, but the hero banners were actually pretty good. I think I had him with 2 dupes, and that dude was, like, throwing out 10 millions at the time, which was fucking crazy. Like, this guy was definitely really fucking good, and even today, almost 2 years later, his, like, that, if you run him on, like, a double Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 GT Kid Goku team, if you run him on, like, a double lead of that with, like, the double damage reduction support, like, this guy could still be crazy, like, running at 70% damage reduction with crazy stats. Like, this guy is insane. Like, I feel like people, like, really undervalued how good he was at the time. And he, like, even the majority of last year, he didn't have a team to run on. I feel like even, like, when Dragon Ball Heroes came out again, like, I was really disappointed last year when Dragon Ball Heroes came out because the Super Saiyan Blue Goku just wasn't... He just didn't feel as powerful as this guy did on release. This guy was genuinely just tearing up the whole game when he came out, and he still has the potential to. Like, his kit is still really that good for, like, the first 6 turns. So, I think he's also really underrated. But, you know, with that, I'm going to end the video. Hope you enjoyed all these underrated characters. Again, like if you did, dislike if you didn't. If you do dislike, leave a comment in the comment section so I can pack on you. And yeah, that's the video. Goodbye.